Most people alive in the late 90s will remember the crazy popularity of Limp Bizkit, one of the pioneering bands of the nu metal subgenre that dominated mainstream music until the mid-2000s. Known for their raw, provocative energy, as well as frontman Fred Durst's frequent feuds with fellow musicians like Britney Spears and Trent Reznor, Limp Bizkit have always been an easy band to hate, whether for their music or otherwise. But recently, when their song Break Stuff got stuck in my head, as it periodically does, I was shocked to realize that one of its riffs actually features an interesting audio illusion called the Tritone Paradox. Whether they meant it intentionally or not, we may never know, but let's first take a look at what the Tritone Paradox is, and then how Limp Bizkit utilized it in their song Break Stuff. The Tritone Paradox involves playing two shepherd tones one after another, a tritone apart. We've got a full video on shepherd tones here for you to watch after, but for this video, all you need to know is that it's essentially a tone made up of the same note in two or more octaves. And a tritone is an interval of half an octave. So if you have a C and a C above it, that's an octave. And if you take the note exactly halfway between the two, in this case F sharp, that is a tritone away from your bass note C. The key here is that the F sharp above the C is the same distance away as the F sharp below the C. So now with that background, let's listen to an example of the Tritone Paradox, and your job is to tell me whether the second note is higher than the first or lower. What did you hear? Leave a comment down below with your answer. Bizarrely, some people hear it going up, while others hear it going down, hence the paradox. Psychologist Diana Deutsch published this finding, and not only did she find that different people heard it differently, she also saw that it mattered which exact notes were involved in the tritone. Normally when you play a piece of music in a particular key, and then you transpose it, it doesn't change how the music sounds. Sure, it sounds higher or lower in comparison, but it doesn't change the relationships between the notes in the piece. But Deutsch played many examples involving all 12 notes to a number of people, and plotted the percentage of times they said it was descending. This person thought all tritone pairs starting from the notes F sharp all the way to B were descending, and marked the vast majority of those from C sharp to E on the other side of the circle as ascending, with a couple in the middle being close to 50-50. This other person had almost the exact opposite result. The most mind-blowing thing, however, is that she proved that this was related not only to which language you speak, but that it even differed regionally. This shows the difference between Californians and those from southern England, and which note they had as their peak. So even though it's not 100% consistent between people within a region, the overall distributions of the two regions are significantly different. Alright, so you clicked on this video for Limp Bizkit. So where did they come into the picture? Well, take a listen to the main verse riff of Break Stuff. The guitar goes from a D sharp power chord to a tritone with the notes D sharp and A. Even this guitar part alone kind of has the tritone paradox within it, because the power chord has both a lower D sharp and the one an octave up. So when the A is played as part of the second chord, your brain can either interpret it as going up, or you could hear it going from the higher D sharp down to the A, like this. Let's take another listen and see if you can hear both ways round. Okay, and then what strengthens the effect is the introduction of the bass. The part itself is not interesting since it just mimics the guitar, but what it does do is add another octave below the guitar. This essentially turns the D sharp and the A into shepherd tones. Of course, it's not as clean and sterile as it would be if they were sine waves, like in a real shepherd tone, but it makes it much easier for the ear to first focus on the guitar note and then the bass note, or the other way around. Let's take one more listen with the bass. Once you hear the tritone paradox in this riff, I think it takes this song full of admittedly badass yet simple riffs to the next level. Tool, you better watch out, because Limp Bizkit is coming for you. If you enjoyed this, you can watch some of our other videos over here. You can support the channel on Patreon or come join our Discord to talk about music. Links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Mixing This. Bye bye.